Good dusk, everybody, and welcome to the ticklish feet of TotalCults.com. I'm James Trick.
I'm Dr. Gogol.
And today we're talking about...
Not so much a topic, more as a kind of emergency, medical emergency, is me finding out that you haven't seen Commando.
I haven't seen Commando. I have played the game, the video game. I was actually pretty damn good at the video game, I seem to remember. Even the grenades and the little lorries thing, which is quite tough.
See, now I don't know if that was based on the film.
I don't know
if it's a direct adaptation. And I'm pretty sure in that game at no point do you have to kill someone with a large concrete pipe. No. Pipe death is... Is there any deer feeding in it?
Deer feeding?
Yes.
I'm now very intrigued. Is this violent deer feeding?
No. It's during a scene of relaxation, of pleasure, of
pleasuring, self-pleasure,
feeding the deer.
Oh, is this a euphemism? Is feeding the deer like feeding the pony? It's like
no. He's feeding a deer.
It's not manual lovemaking for a lady.
No, and let's just stress again.
Are actually feeding a deer
and enjoying life in the country before the main.
Is this Schwarzenegger and the young child are feeding animals?
Yeah,
as an image of rural bliss.
Sharing ice cream. She makes him a sandwich. He comments on various pop icons of the 80s.
I think my image of this film is very far from the portrayal that you've just.
I mean, bear in mind, I am setting up the initial before the main narrative conceit comes in.
So,
and
because the poster downplayed the deer feeding massively. I
mean, you know. What you have to ask yourself, isn't it? The tagline is someone somewhere will have to pay.
Yes.
But what for?
I assumed it was to watch the film.
No. That might be a clever pun.
Yes, absolutely. Did you pay to watch the film?
I would have done. I would have rented it.
How much would you have paid, do you reckon?
Bear in mind, this would have been 1990 something, 91. £1.25 for 2 nights rental from Starburst Video.
That sounds reasonable. So they could alternatively have said somewhere Dr. Gogol will have to pay £1.25 for 2 nights rental. Would have been a more accurate tagline.
If he wants to avoid
penalty fees.
Or infringing copyright in any such way.
Yes.
But they went with the other one.
Right, okay. Shorter.
Yeah,
and more universally applicable.
Yeah, and possibly...
Do you think the target audience would have been... How long does the deer feeding last? I mean...
It's brief, it's a montage.
Right.
It's during the ending credits.
It's not prolonged, you don't get to watch it digest
properly. You don't follow the whole
process.
Digestive process. No. It's just the feeding. Which I'm rather thankful for. I don't think, I think that's unnecessary.
Is the feeding prefaced at all with any kind of descriptive or speculative process? I bet if we feed this to this deer, this will happen.
And therein, why I think it's so wonderful. There is no prefix. It just comes to a shot of feeding deer.
This is Schwarzenegger and a small child
feeding a
deer, eating ice cream.
Yes,
and
there's a little comedy kind of payoff to that.
Does he get someone on his nose?
Well, I would. Yes,
he does.
Yes.
Oh, you see, that's what I've done. If I'd have been planning that sequence, I'd have thought, get some on his nose. And does he then kill the child?
No,
for getting...
no, because she's his daughter.
Right.
So he laughs with that big toothy.
Unconvincingly?
Well, yes.
Do you think inside he's burning with hatred? Thinking, you little shit, you've robbed me of my dignity.
Yes.
I brought you out here to feed this deer, and you've got ice cream on my nose.
I think it's all...
So
because there's no mother figure involved. Right. So either she's died, but there's no mention of that.
Right.
Or I suspect there's been some kind of divorce, and he's very, very concerned with custody. The fact that he's got her up a mountain.
Is this custard what he's feeding the deer?
It's not explicit what's being fed, but it could. He's got it in the palm of his hand, so I would imagine it could be. he would have had to carry it quite some way. Sorry. I don't think that'd be possible without it seeping through his fingers and perhaps getting on his shoes.
Right.
And it's quite.
That could be another reason he's so angry later in the film. I believe that.
Someone will have to pay for the not providing because they didn't provide with an adequate custard receptacle.
Yes.
That is possible. But I think most of it relies on the kidnap of his daughter and therefore the shattering of this rural bliss.
Right, okay. Who feeds the deer when he's gone?
Well,
I mean,
this is. I think that adds an element of time, a time-based tension. I mean, he has a deadline to rescue his daughter.
So he gets.
For which, they employed the narrative convention of having a watch that he looks at,
right,
which he sets with the deadline. Curiously, that only beeps when he looks at it. When he turns it,
cool. And this is a deer-specific deadline.
I think it's suggested he knows that if he doesn't get his daughter back, no one's going to feed that deer.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's done his research. I'm sure he knows how long a deer can go.
Yeah.
Also, bearing in mind the deer's natural foraging skills, it will be able to sustain itself for some time.
So
probably he looked at, well, this is the time I've got to get my daughter back. This is the time the deer's going to last. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle and put my deadline there.
I imagine he's planned this on a graph or something.
But curiously, they didn't resolve the deer issue. I think we just have to assume it's okay.
Was this a setup for a sequel that just never happened?
Possibly.
Right.
Well, curiously, there is an interesting that Die Hard was originally going to be Commando 2.
Really?
Yeah.
So where was the deer going to feature in Die Hard?
32nd floor.
Right, okay, so you've got McClane, you've got the terrorists, and you've got the deer. Is he cut off from the deer? Or?
Well, yeah, and bear in mind, people might, who with attention to deer might call up the McClane thing, because obviously at this point he would be John Matrix, the character from Commando.
Oh, right, I see. John Matrix?
John Matrix is his name.
Right.
But...
I don't know how to react to that. I mean, John is a classic action hero name. Matrix obviously is an action classic, but from a significantly later point. Yeah. It doesn't strike me as... Because at this point, Matrix wouldn't have had any action associations, just ones with sort of business development tools.
Yeah. Having said that, it is the 80s and people were quite fond of grids.
Yes, they were.
Glowing grids.
Tron's all about...
Transformers.
All about the grid.
And... They might have thought it sounded kind of cool,
right?
And slightly electronic.
So you've got, if Die Hard had existed as a Commando deer-based sequel.
Well, but bear in mind as well, I don't know what time the deer was cut out. At the point they changed Matrix to John McClane, it became Die Hard.
And they thought we'd write the deer out as well.
Potentially, the deer still could have been in it at that point.
Yeah,
there was no reason to write it out. I think maybe it might have replaced the Art Powell character.
Right? Yeah, that would make sense.
But they possibly felt that deers are less able to deliver exposition. But just to clarify,
yes.
I mean, we have only covered the opening credits of Commando. There's more to the film,
right?
Far much more.
Okay, talk me through something that I'm going to find nearly as interesting as someone feeding custard to a.
I'll give you two things.
Okay.
First of all, the villain Bennett is one of the greatest screen villains ever.
Who?
Imagine Freddie Mercury had been. Had some kind of allergic reaction and had swelled.
Yes.
Then decided to put on a chainmail vest.
Right.
That's Bennett.
Right, okay. Sweaty Mercury, vesty...
And slightly camper.
Camper than Mercury?
Yeah, he's the villain.
That would have been a great slogan as well.
Yeah, there's next to zero muscle tone in the man as well. Kind of consistency of unbaked bread.
Right. Doughy. Leaden.
Yeah. It's that kind of metal on dough combination.
Okay.
Who's just fantastic. The other thing is there's a fight scene in a hotel between Schwarzenegger and Bill Duke,
right?
Who's also a Predator, which involves not only one of the best written comebacks to an insult ever constructed, but the obligatory smash through the wall into a couple having sex.
Excellent, right? Thing, yeah.
Whereby the woman just sits up and raises her arms, going out of her way to expose herself to the two strange men that have come in, while feigning shock, giving it a few minutes, then covering herself.
Right. And at what point in the narrative does this plot twist, presumably, of the naked woman?
Well, I don't want to give away the ending.
No.
I mean, there are surprises. There's not. But there could be.
There could be some
at this
surprises.
stage. At this stage, you have no idea what's going to happen. I'm probably sure that when we sat down, you had no concept of there being ice cream stroke deer antics in the film at all.
No. I will track it down. And it's the UK one's cut, yeah?
Yeah,
and
so basically, it's one of these things. There was some initial cuts in the UK version. Then when it floated onto TV, it was heavily cut, the usual ITV hack job.
Yeah.
And when the DVD was released, the first DVD release, and a friend of mine who was a massive fan of the film, actually felt it was more heavily cut than the ITV version was.
Wow. Same thing happened with Predator, I think.
Now, there were quite a few rumours of scenes, and I think there was another version that came out that was a bit more, but this is the Region 1 Director's Cut, which has not only the scenes of violence put back in, which evolve around a John Matrix.
Right.
No, dear.
No, dear.
John Matrix improvising with the tools in a garden shed to dispatch a number of people, but also some extra sequences and some alternative takes as well.
Right. I think, amazingly, that's actually probably all we've got time for on today's discussion. We had a list of stuff. And we just had...
We got sidetracked somewhat.
We did. I don't know where the time's gone.
I suspect it went on the deer.
It's been lovely. And you've been listening to Total Cults.
Oh, hello. In today's episode, we've learnt a lot of important lessons. Like, please recycle. We only have one world, and if anyone is going to obliterate it, it's going to be me, with a prolapse ray. But the most important lesson is to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. And, if you'd like more of us, visit our website, totalcults.com, where you can access a backlog of written articles and reviews, as well as purchasing our book, How to Love Movies You Probably Shouldn't, which is also available from all major online retailers in both ebook and physical form. Have a good dusk, everyone.